Congratulations, everybody. We are towards the end of our first major section, and we're going to finish this with this lesson on conjunctions, a very important lesson in the English language. What are conjunctions? They are words that connect multiple ideas. These ideas could be two different sentences, or these could be two different parts of a sentence. So let's look at this very basic sentence. I like cooking. And then the next basic sentence, I like eating. Both of them are very simple, right? But they don't seem right. The way they're written, it looks odd. It looks awkward, and nobody should be talking like this. Instead, if I place the word and in between, it becomes I like cooking and eating. So instead of saying I like two times, you just say and you can say I like cooking and eating. I like walking and talking. And that and helps you connect two things very easily. All right, so that is a conjunction. Very simple. We most likely know how to use and there are more examples. So we'll get into those. Remember some definitions before you get started. There are coordinating conjunctions, subordinating conjunctions, and correlative conjunctions. Now, I'm going to show you, as usual, with examples what they mean. However, here are the definitions. If you want to pause the video and read them, you can. If you have seen my lessons, the way I like to explain it is with examples, because definitions alone are not much of a help. So let's look at the exact examples right now. We're going to start with coordinating conjunctions. In this case, we have words like, actually, let me show you right here. We have words like for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and then there's so. These are some words you can use when you have two parts of a story which are slightly different and you want to connect them together. I'll show you some examples. She didn't like pizza or salad. Now here you have an option to choose between this or that. If you said and, it would be both, right? But or means either I'm going to go with the pizza or salad, one of the two. So we're using or to show this or that. That's a very useful conjunction when selecting between two options. Now the next one is they wanted to celebrate the holidays together, so they decided to book a vacation. So here is like hence or that's why. This leads to the result. Look, I am tired, so I will sleep. Whenever you have a result of a condition, you use the word so. And another example here is we didn't read a lot last year, but this year will be different. In this case, it's the opposite that I'm explaining. I'm saying this is what happened, but this year it's going to be different. So now it's the opposite. And then there are some others like yet and nor and which we discussed, for as well. Try to comment down below and make sentences using these words that are not here in the examples, and I'll tell you if you're doing that correctly or not. But so far, remember, coordinating conjunctions are the ones where you are joining two clauses or parts which are independent, and whenever you use them, make sure to use a comma between them. Right here, if you see before but, before so, and before, not with in this case, but in other cases, if you have a longer list, you use a comma before or. We can look at that later. But generally, you want to use a comma before them. Again, comes with conditions, and we'll look at those conditions. However, if you are in doubt, always try to use a comma before these coordinating conjunctions. Let's look at another type of conjunctions, which is subordinating. Now, in this case, the words that you would want to use are because, since, as, although, though, while, and whereas. Now, these cases or these words are to be used not when you have independent clauses, not when two things are completely different, like they were earlier. Instead, in this case, we have things that are happening maybe at the same time, or they are talking about the same situation taking place. For example, the fruit was rotten because she left it in the sun. So the because here gives us the reason. The fruit was rotten because this is the reason. She left it in the sun. Now, when we say the word although is usually used when you're saying the opposite of something. In this case, we have she worked all day, although she was sick. Now, in this case, it's the opposite. Look, she was not supposed to work because she was sick, right? That's why we're saying she worked all day. That's the first condition, although she was sick. So it's still, even when she is sick, she was working, and we can use the word although to connect these two ideas. Then we have something like whereas. Her Spanish wasn't very good, whereas she was completely fluent in English. In this case, we're using whereas in between to show two things at the same time. This is not good, Spanish is not good, but English is very good. So it explains two things happening at the same time. Again, very useful. Now let's look at since. Since is used when you're again giving a condition. It's very similar to because, and sometimes it's exactly the same thing. In this sentence, it says she always used her map since she didn't know the city very well. So she used her map always because, and this is the reason, she didn't know the city very well. Or since she didn't know the city very well. In this case, because or since are the same things because they're giving reasons why she was using her map. So now try to comment down below with your sentences. What versions of these conjunctions can you make? And if you are done with that, let's go to an even harder conjunction, the correlative conjunctions. In this case, the words you would use are a combination. So it's not just one word you use in the sentence, you use two words at the same time. Either or combination, neither nor combination, or the third combination is not only but also. Now, if you don't understand this, that's okay. This is a little bit advanced, but I'll explain this anyway. And let's see if you can use them effectively. When we say not only, we also have to use words like but also, and we are explaining two things, that there's one thing here and also there's this other thing here. For example, not only does he study every day, but he also exercises as well. So in this case, he does this and does this. It's almost like a surprise. This happens and this happens too. Another example would be not only is she really good in gymnastics, but she's also a very talented swimmer. Okay, so two things which are almost impossible are happening, and that's where you say not only but also. It's not just this, but also this. Another one is she likes neither eggs nor tomatoes. This is used when you are being negative. So she does not like eggs and she does not like tomatoes. Now, if I say she does not, I'm repeating myself. That's not good. So I could use words like neither or nor to showcase that. She liked neither eggs nor tomatoes. So she hates both things. With negative stuff, you use neither or nor. With positive stuff, with positive things, you say either or. For example, dessert was going to be either ice cream or cake. So in this case, it's either this or that. You have two options. You will either get the ice cream or you will get the cake. It's not negative. Here you can choose between both. So there you would use words like either or. So either or is positive, neither nor are negative words. And these are what we call correlative conjunctions. Try to comment down below with your versions of these conjunctions and their sentences, and I'll tell you if they're correct or incorrect. This one is a hard thing, okay? This is an exercise for you right here, and it's going to challenge you. So I want to really see if you can do this correctly or not. Let's practice. This is one sentence. These are two sentences actually. So right here you have one sentence, and then this is the other one. Similarly, this is one sentence. This is the other one. This is one, I shouldn't say sentence. It's one story, and this is the other story. What you want to use are these words on the left. You would use not all of them, but the words that can fit in these sentences, making them in, or I should say combining them in one sentence. For example, this one. She wanted ice cream and she wanted cake. Instead, let me give you the answer, okay? She wanted ice cream and cake. So I'm using the word and I'm putting that here to connect these two together. Now what you got to do is connect these two together. and then the next one, and then the next one, using each of these words, not all of them, but whatever is relevant. In the next class, I'll tell you if you have done this correctly or not. Comment down below with your answers, and the next lesson is going to be moving on to something more advanced. Very excited to cover that. Please like, share, and subscribe to continuously get access to our free complete English 101 course.